Hello my friends, in this video you're going to get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, but not only of Los Angeles. These opening clips were shot in Los Angeles, but there's many Moscow clips that you're going to get to use to compare Los Angeles to Moscow. This video is dedicated to all the viewers from inside of Russia and all the viewers who are outside of Russia. Again, thank you so much for the support. The channel has grown so much. Like I said, we're going to go through some of the bad parts here. We're not going to get off the car this time, but this is what people call Skid Row. We're going to only see a little bit of it. So I'm going to take a small cruise through Skid Row. Of course, this is right in the center of Los Angeles. This is about 5 minutes from where we just were, showing you all of the, I guess, rich area of Los Angeles. This is right next to it. We're not going to get off because it's absolutely dangerous. I mean, it's even dangerous to be filming now. Now, I have to tell you, look at here. Look at these people crossing the street, right? I can run them over. It's not their fault. Maybe they're drugged up. But I feel very nervous driving through here. This is not normal for me to see. This has obviously existed for a long time. We're going to go down another street to see just how bad it is there. Again, please give like, because this is kind of eye-opening for some people, right? I've never even seen some of these things. And the reason why I want people to like this video is because this needs to spread. We need to show the biggest differences between Moscow and Los Angeles. Hello and welcome. We are in the city center of Moscow. I never seen this place, but today you're gonna get to see it with me. I never expected to see such buildings. I've never even been to the center of Los Angeles. And so we're gonna start off here in Moscow, and then we're gonna go to here, to the center of Los Angeles, California. And so, like I said, we're gonna be able to see Moscow together. Down here in Los Angeles, I want you to show me the buildings, the streets, the small streets. Let's compare Moscow with Los Angeles. All right, let's do that. Some things that Moscow has in common with Los Angeles is that a lot of people walk. In comparison to where I'm from, there's absolutely nobody walking, everybody's in car. But in the center of Los Angeles, there's people on scooters, bicycles, and walking everywhere, just like Moscow. So here are the scooters here that you can rent out, and there's even bicycles on this side. So I guess big cities are very much alike, where there's a lot of different types of transportations. As you remember, I made a video from the subway system in Moscow. I showed you what that one is. Here in Los Angeles, we also have a subway, and there's actually a line right here. I've never used the subway in America, and I didn't even know we had some, but the one in Moscow in Russia is absolutely efficient. One of these days, we're gonna ride in this one. And if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out with the link down below. Now, we're still on the same street. This is the 7th Street here in Los Angeles. And the kind of things that you'll see, I can't tell you what that smelled like, but it is insane. You have homeless people just walking around. He's not supposed to cross. He's just disrupting traffic. This is something you won't see in Moscow. We are walking in the center of the center. I'm gonna call it that. Look at these high-rise buildings, guys. Of course, the weather's not working with us, but you can still admire the size of these buildings. Unreal. Everywhere we look, there's just nothing but high-rise buildings. By the way, Daniel, what is the biggest building or the tallest building in Los Angeles? Because I'm told that here in Moscow, it's called the Federation Tower, the one we just saw. And you know what? Let's see which one is taller. Let's compare those. Interestingly enough, we're actually standing in front of the tallest building here in Los Angeles, and it is the Wilshire Grand Center. Actually, this building is not legitimately the tallest. Why? Because they mounted a stick, which you're gonna see, that made it taller than the US Bank Tower. And so it took the title of the tallest building to that building. Now, unfortunately, guys, I can't really walk around this entire building. We're only in the lobby. And I know that in Moscow, you could actually get in there, eat, buy things, maybe drink a coffee. It is not so in Los Angeles. But what I can do is show you what the streets look like. So let's go outside. Now, I forgot to mention to you guys that the US Bank Tower is actually larger than this one, and it doesn't have that extra stick that we talked about. Come here, and you can see the bank tower right over there. Right over there in the back. That is the actual tallest building in Los Angeles. And by the way, guys, the Federation East Tower in Moscow is 374 meters high, which means that no matter what they put on the one in Los Angeles, the one in Moscow is bigger. But now, like the Daniel in Moscow has showed you the streets in Moscow, now it's time to show you the streets in Los Angeles. Well, guys, we were recording right across from the street from where I am right now. There's somebody right here sleeping on the floor. There's some homeless people at the other bus stop. But just to show you how you can be between the wealth and the poor, check this out. That's where we were. All right, that's the tallest building in Los Angeles, and right across. Between Mercury Tower and this other spiral-looking tower, I can't tell you which one my favorite is. Which one do you like? What's your favorite in Los Angeles? Well, you want to know my favorite building here in Los Angeles? It's very hard because we don't really have much historical buildings. But ever since I went to Russia, to St. Petersburg, and saw their architecture, well, I fell in love with that kind of style. So here next to me, I'm going to show you my favorite building in Los Angeles. And so check it out. Look at the details. This is my favorite building in the city. Something that I really like about this building is that it's flanked by these two guys that are laying down. In Russia, you see a lot of faces, you see a lot of designs on the buildings, and this one's got it all. I really like it. And if you ever thought that Russia was just bears on rollerblades, well, you're right. But they even got the bulls on rollerblades, guys. And so I believe that this mall is basically an entire city block. We are inside of the Affy Mall. I'm gonna take you to a better location to where you could see the sheer magnitude of this structure. For one, I'm telling you, it looks like any other mall in California, maybe the Burbank Mall, but this is much bigger. I guarantee it. We are making our way to the top. This is a 5-story building, and I just want to show you what it looks like at the top. Hello. You can actually see through the roof, guys, all the different towers of Moscow, and look at this view. Anybody with vertigo, don't look at the next. Oh, well, it's too late, I guess. The warning came too late, guys. What do you think about this, huh? How is the biggest mall in Los Angeles? Also, do they have exhibitions like this? The size of this. You can see, again, through the whole roof of this. Unreal. We're here at the Burbank Mall, and you can see it's much like the one in Moscow, but this one's way smaller. I don't think that anything can compare with the size, at least here in California, that they had in Moscow. I'm not a big fan of malls, but we're going to show you what it looks like here, how the people look like, and you just tell me what you think. And by the way, in this mall, the food court is actually on the first floor. You know that in Russia, we put our food courts on the top. The third or the fourth row are usually where you can eat. Well, I can tell you right now that there's a lot of stores here that would probably exist in Russia, but they left a long time ago. Like Adidas, Nikes, Vans, Zoomies, that probably existed in Russia, but it is long gone. We still have them here in America, obviously, but I don't think that the Russians need it. Let me know down below, if you're from Russia, do you miss the American brands? This is a very famous store here, Zoomies, and then obviously there's Vans. This is worldwide known. I'm not sure if we had this in Moscow, or in Russia when I was there, but we have it here. And of course, there's the Macy's. Well, you already know what you can find in every mall. They're all the same all over the country. Here in the United States, we're in November, so that means that the Christmas trees are already out. This is all American style, of course. Christmas trees in November. But here in the city of Moscow, It is not Starbucks anymore. It's Stars Coffee. Conveniently having the same or similar logo. That's the kind of stuff you can buy at the Moscow malls. And so this Evolution Tower that's behind me is one of the weirdest buildings I've seen all in the center of Moscow. And we're standing in a place where you could more or less see all of the center of Moscow, all the different buildings, which names I do not know. But obviously this vantage point, it works in our favor because you get to appreciate the magnitude that is Moscow, the beast that it is. Los Angeles, I hope you can find something over there to have a good view. Obviously the weather is going to be way better, but I'll tell you what, I am absolutely impressed with the amount of buildings that they have here. Construction is ongoing, and they say that this is changing every year. They're building new roads, they're building new buildings. Yeah. Really impressive, isn't it? All right, guys, check this view out. That is the tallest building officially. How do the streets look, huh? They look beautiful. Now, I must say, my friends, I have never been to the center of Moscow, but I've also never been to the center of Los Angeles. And so while we're recording this, you get to see new places. Perhaps you're already from Moscow, maybe you've never seen. They're building these new towers here, right? We're going to check those towers out, but Daniel from Los Angeles, please do make sure to visit places you've never seen before. So a lot of times I talk about how dirty it is, but I'm actually very impressed. Here there's an absolutely beautiful plaza. I myself have never seen anything like this because I've never been to the center of Los Angeles. We're both exploring here. Well, take a look and tell me, are you surprised for it to be this clean? If you're from Russia, did you usually think that all of Los Angeles was dirty, that we had nothing? Well, you can see for yourselves. We have beautiful things. Well, we found the spot finally. Next to me here is a wall that's a construction wall, and there's a lot of graffiti. Obviously not as much as I would think. Like in LA, this would be completely bombed. But this is filled with graffiti. It's absolutely filled with graffiti. For all of those people that think that it doesn't exist, well, it does, and we found it. I'm not happy to see it, but I am happy to finally show you some bad things, because all you guys think it's perfect here in Russia. Well, it's not. There's graffiti on this wall. All right, so I'm pretty sure that this is not the best that Moscow has, but in Los Angeles, the graffiti scene has turned into more like of art. A lot of our great artists, graffiti artists, are actually building a community with the shop owners, and they actually go in front of companies and they do their art in front. This right here is pretty much what we call toy. It's very low level art, and I don't know, I think it's pretty bad. Well, listen, we talked about the graffiti in Moscow. Well, in the United States, especially in Los Angeles, the graffiti culture is insane. It is part of the city itself. There's a lot of artists that became very famous, but we're not going to talk so much about the graffiti because, again, this is a dangerous area. But we did get off the car just to show you this art piece here, this corner. This is one of the lowest levels, and we might show you a little bit more. Here's more of beautiful LA art. You see this? They're really, really talented. This guy's Gandhi. More street art. So when I talked about art, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the representation of Los Angeles. The late Kobe Bryant was a Lakers player that unfortunately died, but here in the heart of Los Angeles, next to Skid Row, but you can see the city behind us. They gave Kobe Bryant this amazing mural, which you're gonna see now. Daniel in Moscow is reporting live from a scene full of graffiti. You can see this place is completely jam-packed. Now, it's not normal to see graffiti in the center of Moscow, but I'll tell you what. Daniel in Los Angeles, can you find some graffiti, please? In Moscow, you asked me to find something that's, bad graffiti, that's not really artistic at all. Well, the trash cans and many other places are filled with really bad graffiti. Unlike the mural that we saw, there's the good and the bad. Please make sure to let me know down below if you're from Moscow, if this is something normal to see a lot of graffiti. If not, comment, let us know. Let's go. And by the way, that's supposed to be a McDonald's. Obviously, we know it is not anymore. Daniel, again, please show us that McDonald's in Los Angeles.
Давайте. Один big hit.
Yeah, we're gonna get the big hit, which is basically the Big Mac, guys.
И один кофе латте с карамелью. А потом будьте добры еще.
All right, for all you American guys, you know what this is. You know that fast food life. This is the big hit. This is a Big Mac, and we have fries, and I've got an orange Fanta. And we're gonna be testing it out today. Again, I don't come to these kind of places because I live in Irkutsk Oblast, and in Sludanka we don't have fast food. And in Los Angeles we don't eat fast food because we have tacos, and tacos are better than burgers. So this is gonna be a first time me tasting this thing. It's also going to be one of the first times I go to McDonald's in America. Again, tacos are much better. All right, that's my meal. Again, I'm not sure what a Big Mac's supposed to look like, but that looks delicious. Honestly, I was not even expecting it to look like a Big Mac, but it has everything, the 3 layers and 2 patties. Let's take a bite. All right, here goes the first bite. Honestly, I have no idea what it's supposed to taste like. So, if you're in a rush, I guess, or what is this place called? Something Tochka. You can come and taste it. It's nothing special, obviously, because McDonald's should be nothing special. It just tastes like something that you eat when you're in a rush. That's why it's called fast food. But I forgot, we have to ask Daniel what the Big Mac tastes like in McDonald's in Los Angeles. Please let us know. These fries are really good. How is it over there? Listen, guys, I know that you guys have McDonald's, but we have other types of restaurants. Daniel in Moscow, I don't want to eat any more McDonald's. I want to show the people in Russia what we eat here in Southern California. In Los Angeles, we eat Mexican food. Something very typical of Mexican tradition is eating bread. Pan dulce, we call it. I'm just going to take one of these, and you're going to get to see also a hamburger, like a Mexican torta, and you be the judge. What's better, McDonald's or Mexican food? This is perhaps the most famous, actually, bread pan dulce. It's called a concha, or like a seashell. Like I told you guys, we don't eat that McDonald's stuff here because we don't need it. We have something better, the Mexican torta. Just like I told you guys, this is our version of a hamburger. This is like a big sandwich. You have your meat, your vegetables on top. Absolutely good, right? But we also have the hot sauce. I like it green. I like it a little bit spicy. And every bite should have lemon. Well, my friends, I also mentioned Starbucks, right? Well, this right here is horchata, Mexican drink. Absolutely good. I got a big cup because I'm a big fan. We don't need Starbucks. We don't need McDonald's. All right, now it's time to take a bite. That's better than any Big Mac, better than anything. Inside the torta, there's jalapenos. Look at that. Spicy. Really good. Guys, the horchata drink is better than any coffee, any tea that you can find in Moscow. I guarantee it. I absolutely love it. It's like rice water, horchata. I really appreciate you guys coming along with me to the center of Moscow and the center of Los Angeles. You know, right now I'm going back to the future. I'm going back to Irkutsk. And Daniel, from the future, where are you at? I'm here with a new friend that I found, Sean. Could you please tell us what this building and what it's all about? Because when you hear Skid Row, people are very scared around the world, and I wanted to come down and visit. I myself was very scared, but you were very nice to me and you invited us to see this place.
Yeah, well, we're all about community here. We're the Los Angeles Community Action Network, and what we're about is tenant rights, civil rights, and food justice rights. So as you see, we're on our rooftop garden. Everything that we grow here, we chop it up, cook it up into meals, and hand it out to our community members at our pop-up markets that we have. We have networks nationwide and even international. We're real tight with the United Nations. We just had some representatives from them come here through this past week. But
wow.
We have a free legal clinic for folks who can't afford attorneys if they're getting harassed by their landlords or if they're getting illegally evicted. We have contingencies set to keep them in their homes.
Nice.
Keep them from, you know, adding to this insane homeless problem that we're having here.
Yeah,
that's our Skywell machine right there. It pulls water from the air.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, we'll look at that right now. But as you can see behind us, we have the city of Los Angeles very, very close. Can you please tell the people that might watch this video, would you say, is it a scary place? Is it not a scary place? How should they act if they want to maybe come through Skid Row or the city in general? What would you say to someone?
I would say have an open heart and have an open mind. If you meet people and treat them with respect, you'll get the same in return.
Yeah,
Don't believe all the shit, excuse me for saying
okay,
that they put on the news and kind of spin a false narrative of this community, because that's not what it's about at all.
Yeah, so exactly, you know, you cannot control the situation now. It is what it is. This is how it is. For me, I was very scared, but I got off the car, and lucky for me, I found someone great who was able to explain how the things are here. I'm very proud to have met him. I will say one thing. Even though perhaps there are cities that don't have this problem, I hope that it gets better. I hope that they can find more help. I hope that they can figure out the problems that they have, because these people are absolutely beautiful. I wasn't harassed by anyone is what I'm trying to say. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It was really cool.
Yep.
And so this machine that they told us on top actually collects the water here. He already showed us how much comes out. This is water that's brought out from the moisture in the air. And we're next to the Pacific coast. You know, it's humid, I guess, and there's a lot of water free. This technology is absolutely essential for life, and they have it here. Now we're gonna try some of the world famous Skid Row water. Honestly, it tastes like ordinary water, and this is the most high-tech water I've ever drank in my life, because this water comes from the air. Only in Skid Row. Well, I've shown you what it looks like in the center where it's absolutely rich, and now we're walking, like I told you, in Skid Row where you can't even walk sometimes because of these housings. What do you guys think? I want all your comments. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad. This is life. But for the most part, all of the sidewalks here in Los Angeles are made of this concrete material. They're much different than the ones in Moscow. Now guys, I know I can't show you everything, right? But it's all for you to compare. You can compare the cities, you can see and compare what you've seen here from the little that I've shown you. What are the vibes? What do you get? What's the difference between Los Angeles and Moscow? For me, they're both beautiful. I have no problem with them. This is unbelievable. There's even radios that were captured here on this side of the captured museum. Also, the Americans are not the only people who sent weapons. There's also this British-made one. Here's another Humvee, and then there's a South African vehicle here. Again, some of them actually have rounds on the glass where they were hit. So these were actually caught, captured, and fought for in combat. Follow me. I wanted to show you guys some of the more famous weapons that we use in the Marine Corps is the M240 Bravo here. Now this weapon I used myself in Afghanistan. I was you know, on a machine gun position. This was the weapon that I used. We also have the 50 cal right over here.